Lasting powers of attorney for health and welfare decisions. A lot of people don't tend to go for this lasting power of attorney because they don't understand what its use and what its purpose is. I think it's probably one of the most beneficial documents that you can have. So you appoint an attorney during your lifetime, and that can be your spouse, that can be your children, and they will make those decisions about your health needs when you are unable to have a voice. And that could be because you've got a loss of mental capacity. It also serves if you've got a loss of physical capacity as well to some degree, but this is more when you aren't able to have that voice yourself. So one of the things that can be done is life-sustaining treatment. They can agree to antibiotics because they are life-sustaining treatment. If you've got a water infection, you've got a temporary loss of capacity, which is quite common for this. Therefore, anything that's going to be invasive to the body, be it medication, be it an operation, if we're not in an accident and emergency situation, then they've got to be able to give those permissions. If then we don't have an attorney in place, there has to be some sort of deprivation of your liberty, which is its own sort of process in terms of administration. So the attorneys can make decisions such as medications that you can have. They could authorise a bypass operation. They could have stents fitted, any procedure that would serve to benefit you. And this could make life a lot more comfortable for you, even though you lost capacity in communicating this, but this is also something which is a need for you. Where these really come into their own is in two parts. The first part is challenging care home fees. If you have been assessed for contribution towards your care fees, put the property and the protections there to one side by looking at your money. Well, the assessment is not a financially based assessment. It's a needs-based assessment. So having this power of attorney would allow for you to have an advocate to push the points forward that your needs are actually more severe and therefore beyond the level that the local authority should be providing the basics for you. You'd qualify for continuing healthcare funding. Now, the family can advocate this during that meeting, but also an advocate can be appointed who specialises in this, attend that assessment, which is the multidisciplinary team, and advocate for you. We, again, have specialised in this area and have been successful in having full funding awarded where previously it hadn't been. And we've done that by being appointed through the power of attorney, but for health and welfare decisions. In the latter stages where you've lost capacity and there's no quality of life, well, we look at a DNR, that serves its own purpose in one place, and that is a resuscitation decision. The alternate end then is where we've got this new bill that's been forward for euthanasia, but again, that is tailored to very specific medical conditions. We cover that grey area in the middle. And here is where we will allow the attorneys to refuse consent to life-sustaining treatment, even if life is at risk, if we have certain things like an advanced degenerative disease of the nervous system, you're in a vegetative state or minimally conscious state, aggressive form of cancer, more extreme varieties of dementia. We could have brain damage as a result of stroke, injury or other cause, and this is causing you to have no quality of life, life-sustaining procedures, and for example, artificial hydration and artificial nutrition, because your cognitive impairment doesn't allow for you to be able to function, to eat and drink and support this or swallow. If you're already at a stage of not recognising your family, capacity's totally gone, your bodily functions aren't working, keeping you alive in that situation is cruel. But also, when we look at the NHS and they've taken the Hippocratic Oath, they can't go beyond doing everything they have to keep you alive. So by having this set out in your lasting powers of attorney that we tailor for you, it gives your attorneys the ability to say, no, enough. We're not going to have artificial hydration and nutrition to prolong this process. The NHS will then look at what those powers are and very often be in agreement. And then the process goes that, the end of life protocols are followed, and commonly known as the syringe driver and other methods. They can be applied individual, which would be yourself in this situation, that you pass away without further suffering and unnecessary suffering in those circumstances. Now, be assured there are protocols to follow, so your children can't simply turn up, unplug anything and charge their mobile phone. They've got to go through those protocols with the NHS. But you may have experience seeing this and seeing how difficult it is and have that desire, I don't want that to be me. Having this set out in your lasting powers of attorney serves to give you an incredibly powerful voice at that stage where it's certainly kinder to be able to have that decision. Thank you.